bum 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 bum.
This episode of Cartoon Network Month is brought to you by Mega Charlie 159. Check out his new single, Xir. I don't know how you pronounce it, but just check it out because it is good and definitely worth your time. I was not paid to say this. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Purple Husky Man. And remember that show Robotomy? What's that? You've never even heard of it. Well, maybe that's because due to lack of advertising, and also it was constantly moved around the schedule. Something tells me Cartoon Network was just wanting this show to fail. But anyway, we had it for at least 10 episodes, so let's discuss Robotomy. So basically, our plot is that we live on there's these different robots that live in this planet called Insanus, and it basically just focuses on the lives of our two main characters, Thrasher and Blastus, and their friendship and the wild misadventures they get in on this planet. One of the trademarks of the show was its violence. Now, that kind of makes sense because this whole show revolves around a planet where violence is one of the key things. But, I mean, it got really violent, especially for, like, prime-time children's cartoons. I mean, TV, PG. Still children are watching. Well, apparently they weren't watching, or else this show wouldn't have been canceled, but that's not the point. The point is that it could get very violent for the other, like, shows that came before. I mean, violence has always been something in cartoons, but I mean, this got very, like, almost adult television levels of violence, if you know what I'm saying, and it's almost like they got the creator of Super Jail to work on this. Irony! One of my favorite episodes of the show is Field of Screams. It's sort of a drug PSA, kind of, but you know, it's very, very funny. So basically, what happens is that Blastus and Thrasher, they're on this really ridiculous sports team. Like, it's a really ridiculous sport. It's very overly complicated, and yeah, but that's where the comedy sort of comes in. Anyway, and so basically they want to be tough and like the jocks that are appreciated and get the girls. So they meet this janitor who gives them this stuff that he finds back like at the playground. Like I don't know, it's very weird. Like it's like green slime sort of that he finds it, like I think he said like the gutters of the playground or something. I can't really remember, but so basically what happens is that they take it and it makes them very strong, but of course there's huge damage done. In the end, it all turns out okay. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. I want you to check it out by yourself. I might even link some of the episodes in the description just so you can give them a watch. Another episode I enjoy is called Frenemy, in which it provides a nice little commentary on Facebook. I also really enjoy the art style of the show. The characters, they look sort of steampunkish, I guess, if you want to say that. I don't know. They just look very, very futuristic, but also nostalgic. It's very hard to explain, but yeah, you can see it in front of your face, so I don't know why I'm trying to describe it. It is very, very good art style, I think. One negative aspect we have is, just the characters. There's not completely a lot of character. Like, I mean, Thrasher and Blastus, they have pretty good character, but all the other, they just, like, the supporting characters, I don't really feel like they have much of a personality, you know? Now, I mean, that's not completely the fault of the writers or anything. I mean, they were only given 10 episodes for this season, and they probably would have developed if this show would have gone further. Which it did not, obviously, but, so yeah, that's just one little small complaint, something that couldn't really be helped, I guess, unless maybe you featured them a little bit more, I mean, but, that's, yeah. I think the reason maybe why this show was canned is just for the simple fact it might have been too experimental. You know, just because of the violence and just overall the humor. It wasn't very much like the other shows. I mean, it was surreal, but it also sort of just had like sort of a realism to the humor. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like, just, I don't know. Because regular shows like that, you just sort of laugh because of the surreal situations that are going on. This actually had actual jokes, like set up and all that stuff. So, I just think it was very, very different from what Cartoon Network was showing at the time, and even today, like right now. But so I think that's one of the reasons why maybe it failed. In conclusion, Robotomy was fresh, funny, violent, but just too experimental. Thank you for watching, everybody, and this is Purple Husky Man saying goodbye.